Hey, it's Pam from Made with a Twist. Thanks for stopping by. Today's tutorial, we're going to be making this teardrop hanging basket. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, today we are going to make this cute teardrop basket or pouch with a little hanger that you can place your air plants or anything that you'd like to just hold for you. I have one of these in my office that holds my paper clips. So you can use it for just about anything. It's a teeny tiny little basket, and let's get started. So for supplies, I have my scissors, a size K or 6.5 millimeter hook. I have my latch hook. Y'all know I like that, to use that for tucking ends. And I just have some scrap yarn. I need about 30 yards of a super bulky weight yarn. So I have this Line brand Woolies Thick and Quick. So I will put that over there and we'll get started. Okay, so we are going to start with a magic loop, and I'm going to show you kind of my method for making a secure magic loop. It's a double loop magic loop. So this is how we get that done. So we'll take our yarn, it matches my nail polish. We'll take our yarn, we'll leave a little end about 6 inches long. We'll wrap it halfway around 2 fingers. Spread your fingers apart and wrap it twice around your middle finger. And now we'll hold that with our thumb and our 4th finger there. I just tuck my hook beneath these 2 stitches, or these 2 loops. I'll wrap my yarn and pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. Okay, so now I have my double loop with a slip stitch, and I just work all of my stitches into this double loop. So I'm going to go ahead and work 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now that we have our 8 single crochets made, I grab hold of my 2 loops here from the magic loop, and I push my stitches all the way to the left. Now this leaves me with my 2 loops here and my end here. I'll pull this loop long so that it doesn't accidentally come out. And then I basically hold at the base of my extra string here, and I just pull a little bit so that I can see which of these loops moves more easily. And I can see that it's this bottom loop is moving more easily, while this loop is not moving at all when I pull on this string. So what I'll do is I'll take that loop, the one that pulls more easily, and I will pull it tight, tightening the center of my magic ring. Once that's done, I'll take my end here and I'll pull that tight, and now my magic loop has 2 loops holding it tight. It's not ever going to come undone. I've washed these many times and they don't come undone. So I just finish up round 1 with a slip stitch to my first single crochet. Okay, and now we have our first round done. Round 2 we're going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So I'm going to chain 1 to start, and we'll just 2 single crochets. 1, 2, now we have 16 single crochets all the way around, and we'll go ahead and close up this round with a slip stitch to our first single crochet. And now we'll work round 3. Round 3 we'll be working, we're going to chain 1, and we'll work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and we'll continue that pattern all the way around with 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 in the next, 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. Alright, we have 1 single crochet, 2, 1 in this stitch, 2 in the next stitch, 1 in the next stitch, 2, and 1, and we'll do that all the way around. Okay, now that we've finished round 3, we've done a repeating pattern of 2 single crochets in one stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch. We did that all the way around. We've ended up with 24 stitches around, and we'll end our round with a slip stitch to our first single crochet, and we'll start working on round 4. Round 4 is very similar. It's a regular flat round increase, which means we'll chain 1, we'll work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, a single crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the next stitch. So we'll work a repeating pattern of 2 single crochets, 1 and 1, 2 single crochets, 1 and 1, all the way around. I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, now you can see we finished our 1, 2, 3 round 4. We have 32, is that right? Yes, we have 32 stitches all the way around, and we'll go ahead and end the round with a slip stitch to our first single crochet, and we'll chain 1. And now this is where we start our decrease, which is going to create the teardrop shape or the pouch shape. So what we'll do first, we're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches, starting with our first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we'll half double crochet in the next stitch. So to do a half double crochet, we yarn over, put our hook through the loops, pull up a stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3 stitches. From that point, we're going to work we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. So let me show you how you do that. We would yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we'll pull a loop through all of those stitches. Okay, so we're going to do that a total of 8 times. So that's our first time. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all those stitches. 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, trying to turn itself inside out there. Okay, so we've worked our 8 half double crochet 2 stitches together. We're going to half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll complete this round with 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now that we've got our 7 single crochets, we'll finish this with a slip stitch into our first single crochet. We'll chain 1 to start our next row. And you can see our pouch shape is beginning to take shape here. Round 6. In round 6, we're going to single crochet in the first 5 stitches, starting with our first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, we'll half double crochet in the next stitch, and we are going to half double crochet 2 together 6 times total. So we'll yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all those stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whoops. And 6. So that's 6 half double crochet decreases. We'll yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 3, and that's our last half double crochet. And now we'll single crochet in the last 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll close this round with a slip stitch to the first stitch, chain 1, and now we're on to round 7. Round 7 is simply, we're going to simply single crochet all the way around until we get to our last stitch. Okay, when we get to our last stitch, what we'll do now is we're going to chain 12. And then once we've chained 12, we're going to simply slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. So that creates our hanging loop that we'll use to hang our pouch. And our final row, our final round, what we'll do is we're going to slip stitch all the way around until we come to our chain 12 loop. I'll tell you what we'll do when we'll get there. I'll see you after we single crochet all the way around. Okay, now that we've single crocheted in all the stitches around our pouch, we get to this loop, we're going to single crochet 12 into the loop. We're going to go right around it. We're not working into the particular chain stitches, we're working into the loop itself. So that's 2, 10, 11, and 12. We'll simply slip stitch into our first slip stitch, and I'm going to pull out about a yard, about a yard of yarn, and I'm going to cut that. What I'll do is I'll simply pull this loop through in order to tie off this stitch. You can see that is our loop right there. And what we need to do is simply wrap this yarn that we've cut off the extra around the loop itself to create our handle. So I try to hold it as much in the center as I can. It should be centered, but sometimes it's a little bit, it just seems a little bit off. So I'm going to hold it here. You guys, this can look really awkward, but I'll do my best. I'm just going to wind this around. And it's all personal preference at this point, how you want this to look. But I think that's probably good. You can see how that looks. And now I'm going to go into the back, and you can do this either with a yarn needle, which I have over here, or with your latch hook. I'm going to use my latch hook and simply pull up a loop and pull it tight. Pull the yarn through, and that way it creates a knot. Then I'll pull this back through probably twice in order to hide this end here before I cut it off. So I'll pull that through once. Again, being careful not to pull it all the way out. I've left a piece of yarn in between those two so that it doesn't pull out. I'll simply cut this. And there's my little pouch with the handle. And all I have is, I'm going to turn it inside out, I have this one string to tuck. I'll just do it real quick. You don't have to be super diligent with your tucking of these ends because this basket isn't going to get a lot of washing or anything like that. So I'll just tuck that real quick, cut it off, turn it right side out. And we'll take our air plant, stick that inside, and there we have our air plant basket, our teardrop crocheted basket. Now you can make this one we used a single strand of super chunky yarn and a 6.5mm hook. If you'd like to make it larger, I've also made this size, and I used the exact same pattern, except I used 2 strands of the same Woolies Thick and Quick and a 9mm crochet hook. So you can see what that looks like here. I'll put the same plant in there, and you can see what that basket looks like. So you can make it small or you can make it a little bit larger. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to help. I hope you enjoyed making today's basket. If you have any questions, let me know, and again, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time.